Those are your hands? Those are your hands. What happened to you? Here we are.
Hey YouTubers, Test Just One back again. Yes, I have another 1/6 figure. It's a third party, which I've been buying quite a bit lately because price affordability, I suppose you'd say. But this one here is it's a figure that I've been wanting for a long time because I'm a big Johnny Depp fan, and the Hot Toys one, well, it didn't cut it for me. This one is pretty cool. Why didn't it cut it? Well, I'm just going to put this video on right now. It's off a YouTube collector from 10 years ago. That Hot Toys brought out, the Edward Scissorhands. I'll let him explain it.
Doing out there many days back with a review of an old figure, Edward Scissorhands, featuring Johnny Depp, and yeah, as you can see, unfortunately the likeness is not really there. It doesn't look as Johnny Depp at all. What makes this figure really an outstanding piece is the costume, the suit, which is insane with all the details. I was watching this figure for quite some time, I think more than a year and a half. I was always uncertain where to get it or not, especially because of the likeness. I wish and I hope and I pray to God that Hot Toys is going to relaunch this figure one day with a 100% likeness to Johnny Depp, and perhaps with rooted real hair. That would be awesome.
As you can see, the likeness was not there. The outfit, pretty cool. Look, the outfit in this is pretty close, but probably not up to the standards of what Hot Toys was, but I reckon it's alright. The only issue I had with this figure was the giraffe thing going on there, and it wasn't cool. I thought maybe it'll be alright, but once I get out of the box and have a look at it, no. It was, I've really got to think about OCD almost about necks, and this one was crazy. So look, at the end of my video, I'd like you to watch it, because this figure is coming out with the customized neck. So have a look at it, tell me what you think, if you think it's acceptable. If you do, at the end of this video, follow through with it. It's a really simple procedure. The whole thing wasn't hard. It was from start to finish was 10 minutes. So it takes you, it's very little time, well worth the effort as far as I'm concerned. So we'll get the figure out a second time. So, right, what I'd like to do is just show you the figure in the box as it is. This is how it was presented to me. Get the figure out, see what belts are involved, because there's no paperwork to say, instructions to say what to do and how to put it on. So I'm just going to simply go by the image I have here, and hopefully put all these pieces together. So I'll get it all on the turntable, and we'll check it all out. We'll have a look at the new customized neck and tell me what you think while you're at it. As you can see, the work that I done onto the neck has lowered it considerably. I actually lowered it. I cut equivalent to 4.5 millimeters off. Yeah, I definitely had an issue with the neck, and I as you can see, is a big improvement to the look of it now. So at the end of the video, please watch my small custom I did to improve the look of the scissor hands. So this figure is from Art Figures. It's an affordable price. I think it was just over 200 US, and that was shipped, so that's not too bad. It doesn't come with a lot, so I'll just quickly have a look at the body. The combination they've done with this like, it's almost like a vinyl. And tell you what, vinyl does last a long time if you looked after. The only thing with this thin vinyl, it's way better than pleather, that's for sure, because pleather, we know for a fact it peels over time. This vinyl doesn't. It lasts forever, but is susceptible for tearing, so you have to be very careful with your posing. Other than that, it's a good quality piece of material. The belting, it's got that. It seems to be the same sort of material. It's hard to tell, but going by the belts, it does have some sort of pleather quality to it. So that may peel over time. The pulling down with the heart, well, there is a limitation to how you twist the hands. I'm very cautious about twisting them, but you can twist it. It does have a twist in the forearm, wrist area. The scissors are, well, one of them's movable. That seems to be the only working one that's fixed to the hand. But yeah, both metal pieces. And over to the other side, metal as well. Yeah, metal. Pretty much everything on the hand is metal. All fits with a little bit of a ball peg. So there you go. That one's disconnected, but I'm assuming it was the end finger, the smallest finger. And there's some other parts. So you can easily disconnect this one off to fit the other one that goes next to the small finger. I think the thumb also has a fitting. The thumb also has a fitting on both hands, which I'll have to put on and you get to see. But overall, I think, wow, the head sculpt's a killer. The head sculpt is a killer. Beautiful. The body scale, I've compared it to my other Johnny Depp figures, and I'll show you them towards the end of my video. Very close to scale. Love all the belting and the material, the soft material that's used in the pants, the stripes here. Very, very nice. It's a segregated foot to shin or lower leg area. It's segregated, so you can maneuver the foot in any way you want without limitation. The stand is amazing compared to what Hot Toys released 10 years ago. No, probably about 13 years ago. This one is really, really good. Right, comes with some spare pegs, and there's a little bit of extra lacing in there. The finger connection of one of the hands. This is metal. Another finger connection. I think this is a equivalent to a thumb connection. You got this really long one here. That's plastic, not metal. It's the only one that's plastic. We have another thumb connection, metal. Looks like to me a waist belt, and 3 smaller belts to go on the left leg, and that's it. So pretty much, I'm going to put those on now. Have a look at the display, how it displays, bring out my other figures, and the video, and of course my custom at the end of that. Wow, I'm really happy with the not only lowering the neck, that was a must for me, but yeah, the end result is quite good. I had a difficult time with these belts that go around the leg. I'm going to recommend that you don't put them around the leg then try to put the buckles on. Definitely do not do that. Take them, leave them off, thread them through the buckle, work out which is the biggest one that goes on the top thigh, your middle thigh, and your smallest one for your bottom of your thigh. Don't once you get them into the loops and through the buckles, the two bottom ones are going to be the hardest ones to do. They're the smallest buckles. They're very, very tight. Once you get that done, I used the pin to thread through the bloody things because it was so hard. I can see why they didn't put them on. Jeez, too thick. It was too thick. The material was too thick for the buckles. Anyway, take the foot off, thread them on, tease them up, and you only need to go through just the tip of the leather or the pleather through the second stage of the buckle. Just the tip. Once you see the tip through, that's enough. Don't go any further because you're going to need all that length for the thigh. Just a tip from me. And the hardest thing I found with the scissor hands is the plastic one. Pushing the plastic one on. I would heat the hands first slightly and then push them on. The plastic one of mine broke, but I ended up sanding it and gluing it, and you can hardly tell it's broken. So yeah, it's this one here anyway. It doesn't need a lot to push into. Once you just need a little bit of a tease, and then it's on. You know, you don't really need to put a lot of pressure. But the hands look fantastic. I'm really glad they used this pliable these cords and that, so you can twist the hands without them snapping. They're very flexible, like a rubber, so they work really well. Yeah, all up. But yeah, the belt wasn't too hard to put on. But I'll just give you another tip. There's a little hole here on the belt. That's not for the belt tongue to go through. It goes on the outside of the buckle, just before that brass looking hole. There's another hole. That's for the tongue of the buckle to go through. So don't make a mistake like I made. Try to get through that little hole, that brass hole. It's not supposed to. Right, he looks cool. He looks really cool. I like the size of his thighs. I love the base. I like the look of him, man. He looks cool. He looks cool. Got rid of the draft neck. Yeah, he's sweet. He's sweet. I would not recommend him coming off the stand, because if he hits the ground, blades and scissors and shit are going to go everywhere. Do not fucking drop him off the stand. Make sure he's on the stand properly. Because I'm shit scared if he's going to fall over now. Because it's taken the time it's taken, but it was 10 minutes to put short in the neck, half an hour to put all this stuff on. You know, it was crazy. Bloody crazy. Anyway, he looked, end result. Lots of studs. You know, he's got that lycra stuff on, like you wore in the movie. All sorts of different materials here. Vast improvement head-wise as far as hot toys. Only been 10 years or 13 years in the wake, but I finally got my scissor hands. Oh god, collecting 1/6 is crazy. I'm gonna get my other rightio. I had to stop the video. My video ran out of memory. So right, got my my Johnny Depp figures here. They're all pretty much hot toys. Yeah, hot toys, except for the art figure one. But as I said, they're pretty close to scale. I'll just put put him next to Hot Toys. As you can see, they're pretty close. Over here. So yeah, the figures, I'm happy with the size. I'm glad I lowered his neck, otherwise probably would have been a little bit too tall. So yeah. So happy with what Art's done. I'm glad to have him in my collection with my Jack Sparrow, Sweeney Todd, Grindelwald and Tonto and Ichabod Crane. So next I'd probably like to get would be the I want to get the I think who's that company made the Joker? Oh, Mars Toys. Mars Toys will be making the Willy Wonka. Probably going to get him. Wouldn't mind getting the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. And that's about it, really. Oh yeah, and the Johnny Depp court case. I'm only joking. They probably will do that too. Anyway, that's my video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep on watching, you'll get to see the quick custom that I did to the neck. If you want to do that to your own figure, go for it. Other than that, I'll pass you on to myself early this morning. Catch up. The opening of this box, the Art Figures Scissorhands, was I found the neck a little bit over length. So say giraffe neck. One of my hates, as far as I'm concerned, as far as displaying. So I decided to tackle shortening in just a fraction. Simply hit it with the heat gun, not for long, just enough to soften up the neck. Remove the plug, which is the joining of the body to the head, which is the lower section of this neck. And simply, it's got a nice sleeve around there, really good for gluing, and it was glued when I started separating it. A scalpel blade separated it, no problem at all. This is the inside of the neck. So simply, there is a stopper inserted for when it hits the sleeve of this joiner. What I'm going to do is just take off about roughly close to 5 mil, maybe less, 4.5, 4 mil. It's a very soft plastic, very easily to cut. What I'm going to use is the scalpel. I'm going to slice off that 4 mil. Then with a Dremel, I'm going to carve out the inside stoppers to measure up the same distance that I've just cut off. So when I join this back in, there will be no complications in doing so. Then I'll just put a smear of super glue on there and it will be good as new. So I'll do the process and show you what I've done after I've cut it. Oh bugger, I'll do it now. I'll show you quick now. So I'm just going to follow a line, a pen line that I've done here, and it's going in. Now you're watching your fingers, you just don't want to cut your fingers. Make sure your fingers aren't in the way. You just massage around the neck, following the pen line, staying within the pen line, and it's like a sawing action, I suppose you'd say. Look, it doesn't really matter if you go off a little bit. This is not visible as far as seen from the outside display. It is buried within the body nearly, so don't worry about too much about staying. Just don't go troubling up the neck, because then you might have a visibility problem. So simple as that. I'm just going to take a little nick off there, smooth it out. If you don't, some people are a bit dubious about doing this, and I can understand why, because cutting stuff is makes people a lot anxious. So there you go, I've done that. So all now I'm going to do here is get the Dremel out, which I'm not going to show you, but it's just a fraction I'm going to take off from the 2 stoppers at the front of the neck. If you can see the front there, 2 stoppers. Just going to Dremel them off at just a fraction and glue it back in. Alrighty, I've cleaned the stopper out, the distance, as I said, the distance of what I've cut. So when putting this back in, there's not going to be any issues with the fitting. I hit it with the Dremel. The Dremel's just a little tool here with a bit of teeth, and it's flat edged, so it's easy to work with a flat surface. Great tools to have, I tell you. So now I'm ready to glue. Alright, I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue to this sleeve that's on the connection piece here. Just smear a bit of that on there. Don't have to do it all the way around. Just eliminate it coming apart while you're posing it. So now I've done that, I'm going to slip it on. Probably should have heated up the neck a bit, but we won't worry about it. Done. So, as you've seen in the beginning of my video, bit of an improvement. 4.5 mils improvement. Catch ya.